Hey everybody, welcome back to the Up and Adam show. Yes, you just heard a bark, and we'll get to who that special guest is in just a minute. But we have our shirts right here, and I'm joined by two lovely women, my future mother-in-law and my beautiful girlfriend, Francesca. You guys have seen her many times. And we're really excited because we are here with the star of the show, Hudson Rex, Diesel, and owner, Sherri Davis. Diesel, how's it going? So, before we get into anything, Diesel, because I know you're really excited, I wanted to ask you, what is your favorite your favorite food? Yeah? That's mine too.
Well, Diesel, I wanted to ask you, who's your favorite actor?
How'd you know mine too?
Ask him.
Diesel, do you have a girlfriend?
That's
Oh!
question.
Wow! Oh, that's awesome. Thank you, Diesel. You're the best.
Diesel, you can relax.
You
now.
can relax. Oh, he doesn't want to leave. He's the best. I love him.
Hey guys, sorry.
Hey Sherri, how are you? Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. He's a little bit of a hog every now and again.
Oh, but why not? He's such a handsome boy.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
He's like, Mom, I'm the star, not you. You don't get in front of the TV.
Oh man. Well, thank you so much for being on. So you're located in Newfoundland, right?
Yeah. We film in Newfoundland, and little secret, I'm actually in Ontario on a hiatus right now.
Oh.
We're in Toronto.
Wow.
I'm in Ancaster. I'm at my home base right now. So Diesel got to come home and visit all of his brothers and sisters and aunts and uncles and grandmas and grandpas.
Oh, that is so awesome. So it looks like you always kind of grew up with dogs and had this liking for them, right?
Yeah. So when I was 5, thanks to my brother, because he scored a goal, my parents had said, if you score a goal, he's never going to score a goal because he's a defenseman. But if you score a goal, you can go and get a dog. We'll take you right to the pound. My brother got a hold of that puck. He went down and boom, right in the net. We were like, yeah!
It was meant to be.
So I got my first dog when I was 5.
Aww.
What breed?
She was a rescue. Yeah, her name was Sunny. And then I got a dog. She was a rescue called Duchess. And then my first dog was Blackie.
Aw.
Like my very first dog, not a family dog.
Yeah.
So, and then my dogs were Blackie, Raleigh, and Bullet were my first 3 dogs. And I named my company BRB after Blackie, Raleigh, and Bullet.
I noticed that on your Instagram. I was gonna ask you about that because the name was. I was like, oh, where that originated from? But the names are all so unique. I like them a lot, especially Bullet. Was he fast or what?
Yeah, she was a Czechoslovakian boxer, and she was trained to. She was trained to actually be like my little Bullet. How's that? Yes. She would do anything. She did obedience and fly ball and agility. She did bite work. She did French ring. You name it, this dog did it. She was actually my I think she was my soulmate.
Oh, that's so nice. God bless to her, honestly. See, you know the thing about dogs and why I love them so much. I had a dog and she passed away a couple years ago, and my sister was really close to her. It was like her sister, right? Because so it's me, my brother, and my sister. So she never had like a sister figure, and the dog was a girl, so it was like a sister to her. And I remember when she passed away, it was like a piece of my sister. You know, I had her for 18 years. Yeah, that's how long we had our dog too. My dog was a Maltese and a Shih Tzu. So you could tell those little buggers. I'm telling you. Yeah, but
a little purse dog.
Yeah. Oh my God, literally. You know, in California, they always have those moms with the purse dogs.
Yeah.
So when did you start training dogs? When did that kind of start for you then?
Well, in all honesty, I started training probably with my first dog when I was like 5. Professionally, I started training in my teens. I was going to save the world and become a vet. I did an internship, and then I realized, now you've got to understand, I'm only 29, but this was like 29 years ago that this happened. Back then, you would drive down in Mississauga, let's say. Erin Mills Parkway was a dirt road, believe it or not. And you would go down, and all these farmers would have these signs, and it would say free puppies or, puppies $5. So people would bring their animals in to the clinics, and they weren't very old. A lot of them under 1 year, and they'd say, euthanize them because they bit, they're destructive, it was all training issues. Yeah. But back then it was cheaper to discard a dog because they weren't considered family members as they are today. So I was like, this isn't why I want to save animals. So of course I was like, all you got to do is train it, guys. So then I started professionally training and trying to save animals through the training aspect of things.
My family in Italy watched the show.
No way, do they?
Yeah, I didn't even know it shows in Italy, but they love him.
Yeah, one day I was at home, right? And I was talking to her, and she saw the shirt, and she says to me, "Oh wow, that's Rex. I love Rex." and I said, "How do you know about?" "Oh, I watch Rex," she said. "Oh," I said, "That's cool. That's pretty cool." So now, today we took a picture, all of us, with the shirts, and I sent a picture to her, so she's gonna be happy.
Happy,
oh my God.
Happy and a little jealous that we got to speak with you and Diesel.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's very funny because actually somebody just sent me a video of Hudson and Rex. It was one of the episodes from season 1, and it was being aired in Taiwan, and it was all dubbed, and it sounds so funny because even the dog barks a little differently.
Really? Are you serious?
God.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's very funny. We're being seen in over 200 countries right now.
That is fantastic. I didn't even know that.
Wow.
That's amazing.
We're doing very, very well.
That is great.
That tells you how she knows about Rex. Look
Yeah.
at that.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
makes sense.
And how did Diesel end up getting the role of Rex? Like, did he have to audition? Like, what's the process with that? Or did the casting directors just fall in love with the handsome face that he has?
No, it's quite a funny story. So Hudson and Rex is after an Austrian show called Kommissar Rex, and it ran for, I believe, 18 years in Europe. And Shaftesbury, they had the North American rights. So when they were putting the show together to make it a show, they went around and interviewed a bunch of trainers and saw a bunch of dogs and stuff. And oddly enough, 7 years ago, somebody had come to me about Hudson and Rex, and I had put together I said, send me a script, and I had broke down all the animal behaviors. So when the directors came, all I did was show them the behaviors that were in their script, and they were like, okay, well, wow, okay. How long did this take? And I said, a few days. I said, these dogs are trained, so that's the difference. Anyway, so they searched me out 7 years later, and they came by, and the shepherds that I had were all very black. So the first Rex was actually quite black that we were working with, and they were like, he's kind of dark and blah blah blah. So I had a few different shepherds, and I said, okay, well, there's this one, and they were very black in their face. And in film, of course, that's hard to light, and it can cause some problems, especially night shots and stuff. So anyways, long story short, there was a representative here from Shaftesbury, and we were just finishing up a meeting, And I had asked one of my staff to bring me up Diesel, who is now Rex. And I had only picked him up the day before. I had gone to the breeder. I was on a waiting list for over 2 years for a puppy. He called me and I flew home and went up because he was like, be here tomorrow or don't get a dog. So I'm like, okay. So I flew home, went up. There were 2 puppies, 2 male puppies. So I was going for 1 puppy. That was it.
Yeah.
Well, I ended up leaving with the 2 male puppies. And then I was looking down the kennel and there's this dog and he just like, I said, what's the story with this guy? And Dodo, he was sold and returned, untrainable, unmanageable, just a menace. And we call him Dodo and he's pretty, dopey and aloof. And I'm like, if you let him out, would he be okay with these puppies? And he goes, oh, they're his nephews. His sister had these puppies. And I'm like, really? And he goes, yeah, I got him back at 1.5 years old. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. He said, no. So anyways, he opened the cage, let him out, and he came running and just sat and looked just looked at me. And I'm like, oh boy. So
he pulled, from Shrek when Puss in Boots does that little thing?
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, I came for a puppy, to train a puppy. And I'm like, so anyways, I hemmed and hawed and I said, okay, let me take all 3 dogs and I'm gonna, I'll decide who I'm bringing back. And, I have the biggest heart and I'm like, oh, this is not good. If I leave with 3 dogs, I'm going to keep 3 dogs. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to keep 3 dogs. Anyways, I brought home 3 dogs the very next day. So I really didn't even know Diesel at this point. I had said to my staff, bring him upstairs because I want to train him to be my service dog. I had a leg injury, so my old service dog, Uncle, was getting quite old. And I was going to try this guy out to be a service dog. And the representative from Shaftesbury looked and he goes, oh my gosh, it's Rex. I said, oh, no, that's not Rex. We don't know this dog. I said, no. And he's like, Sherri, that's Rex. And I'm like, oh my gosh, Adam, you don't understand. I really don't even know the dog. He was 1.5 years. He was returned to the breeder. I haven't even started to work with him. He goes, you trained all these other dogs? I said, yeah. He goes, I'll see you next week. That's Rex. I was like, oh my gosh.
So it was like, what have I done? It was meant to be.
So I trained him for a week and I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Anyways, we spent 24/7 together for the next 7 days and they came out with a camera crew and he said, show us what you can do. And I was like, on your mark, hit that, sit down, on your side, roll over, bow. And they were like, you've had this dog a week. I said, I have been with this dog 24/7 for a week and we have worked nonstop. And they were like, that's Rex. I'm like,
I've been with this dog for a week and I haven't slept for 2.
Yeah, exactly.
That is so funny. So any funny stories you have with Diesel then? Throughout the times you guys been together, since he is that kind of, I guess, Diesel and I have something in common. I'm known to be that little bit of that goofy, little bit crazy kid. So any funny stories?
You know what? He's a real card. Honestly, he is a card. So now, because he knows, if you've ever been on a film set, they do a take and then they'll say back to ones to set up to do a take 2 or take 3 or take 4, right? So now, as soon as they yell cut, if they yell cut, checking, he walks out the door and looks at me and goes, "Roof," because he wants to go to his trailer. If they say cut back to ones, he goes and he's already back at ones before the actors are. The actors are getting notes from the directors and stuff, and he's like, come on, guys, I'm waiting. He is such a diva. And then, they'll call us in. So he doesn't come in for rehearsals or blocking or anything like that. He only comes in when we're ready to shoot. So I'm the one who's got to be there for the rehearsals and the blocking and to choreograph all with the movement and figure out where I can be and that kind of stuff. So when he comes in, he'll come in set, and it doesn't matter what. He's so bad. It doesn't matter what set. It doesn't matter if we're at the studio or if we're on location. He'll come in and I'll say, okay, look, this is your path. This is what you're going to do. I need a trainer here and a trainer there. And, you know, you guys are going to get a look, a right and a left. So then the next thing you know is if they yell finals, which means, you know, hair and makeup come in to touch up the actors and actresses, he will actually like mouth us. He will like, rah, 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 like, why did you bring me in so early? And he'll go and lay in a corner and just like sulk, like, jeez. Yeah.
He's a little diva.
It is the most adorable thing ever, to be honest. You know, and every now and again they'll say, you know, finals, and then somebody will yell, Diesel, that's your finals too, come here, and then they put a little brush in them to make them feel special.
Oh my god, he's so smart, for real. I just wanted to ask, how difficult is it to train a German Shepherd and compared to other breeds?
Okay, you know, a lot of people ask that, and you know, this is what I say. You have a connection with the dog. You either have it or you don't, right? And I think of having a dog is like being in a marriage. Now, a lot of people are going to say, what the hell is this chick on? But you get married and you're madly in love. So when you meet each other, you're madly in love. You wanna please each other, but then over time you grow out of love, and humans get a divorce. And there's a lot of times where a dog and a human need to get divorced because they no longer are mashing. Like it's just they're fighting, right? So there's nothing wrong with getting a divorce because this person goes off and meets somebody and lives happily ever after, and this person goes off and meets somebody. Well, it's the same with a dog. So if you fall out of love and all of a sudden you're at wit's end, you don't have to euthanize that dog. You don't have to live in misery for the rest of one of your lives. There is a way that you can get a divorce, and then you can find a perfect person for that dog, and you can find a perfect dog for that person. When you have that, I think your training goes a lot easier. If you're constantly fighting, there's always going to be an issue. And I think what people have to understand is that when I train a dog, I train in their language. So I use a lot of body language. Dogs communicate first and foremost with body language, right? Yeah. So they don't know what sit means, but once they're shown and they understand this signal here means to sit. Oh, okay, that's all that they want. They understand octave level. So if you come home, and a lot of people will say to me, oh, my dog understands when he's been bad when I come home. And I'm like, oh, how do they understand? And he goes, because I walk home and as soon as I open the door, I'll see like the shoes are out of the closet. And I'm like, what did you do? I'm like, well, I'd run and hide too. Like, I don't know I'm bad. I'm responding because of your voice and your action. So when I train, it's a lot of quietness and more. My method of training is my is my growl, my bite is a little check through the collar, and my hands are nurture. So my hands never touch a dog unless it's for nurture. So like I can say to him, do you want a black eye? And I'm going to give you 5, 10, and I can smack them and play with it because my hands have never, ever been used as a discipline with my dogs. It's always fun. It's always nurturing. So I try when I'm working with the dogs to communicate to them in a language that they understand. And in all honesty, there are some really smart German Shepherds and there are some really not so smart German Shepherds. So it's very hard. Like people will say, you know, the smartest dog in the world is a Border Collie or a Poodle. And I'm like, well, I don't know about that. So it's like everybody else, right? You can't say that all redheads have a bad temper, right? Yeah. You can't generalize like that. Yeah. So, you know, he is exceptional. He's very, very good. His nephews, who are his stunt doubles, which are Izzy and Aiko, are phenomenal. totally different dogs because of the way I brought them up. Now, Izzy and Aiko are like, they're like, oh my God, the energy that they have is like, some days I just want to go, but I can't because that's the way I've brought them up. I brought them up with that really high drive to get those action shots, you know, of him jumping off of a 18-foot high cliff. You know, Diesel's gonna look at that 18-foot high cliff and go, Mom, are you nuts? Like, I'm not gonna break my legs for this shit. You're right.
We saw one thing. We were looking at it before we came on today. It was him running
in the car.
He jumped through the window.
Yes.
That was yesterday's episode. Yeah.
Yesterday.
Yeah. So actually, that's a very funny you mentioned this shot because Sharon Lewis was a phenomenal director. Oh my gosh, she is. It was my first time working with her, and what a pleasure. She was amazing. But we went down to the wharf, and she says, "So, what do you think of this shot?" And she set up the shot, and I was like, "You want to get that in one shot?" And she said, "No." I said, no, tell me what do you want? And she goes, well, I was kind of hoping we could get it in a oneer. And I was like, that is the first time in the history of Hudson and Rex we did a oneer, which means we didn't cut the cameras from the time he left that car until the time he hit the guy at the other end through the window. We did that all in one shot. It was probably over 500 feet by the time you took where they came in the in the Jeep to all of the apparatus that he had to do, and he did it all in one take.
Wow.
What a king.
Yeah.
What a king.
Yeah. And let me tell you, it was one of my proudest moments with the boys because I was just like, anybody in film who has worked with animals would be, there's no way. Like what the boys did that day was absolutely unbelievable.
I have just one question.
Yeah.
Is he right there sleeping, or is he just quiet? What is he up to? What is he up to? Oh no.
He's the cute. I'm telling you, he's the cutest.
Oh my God.
He's such a good boy.
Yeah, he's the best.
Yeah, look at him.
Hey, Diesel. Hi. Look. Here. Look here.
Diesel.
Talk to her.
Oh.
Hi,
He listens to
Hi, buddy.
Hi, Diesel.
Hello.
You want to say hi? You want to say hi? What? Talk to her. Talk to her.
Hi, buddy.
Everybody should remember that Rex, even though he was bred out of breeders, he was returned. He was a reject, right? So, you know, he was a year and a half old when I got him, knew nothing, never been on a film set, nothing. There's hope for every animal, you know. So, you know, we do a lot with rescues and rehabilitation centers, and it's something that, you know, more people could, you know, look into and donate, even if it's donating a toy or, you know, anything. Find a local rescue that is reputable, and make sure that they're in it for the right reasons, and that would be for the animals. At the end of everybody's goal, it should be, you know, we want to save these animals. Like I said, animals are like marriages. Some of you get divorced. Doesn't mean that you're bad people. Just means that you weren't right for each other.
Absolutely.
So, you know, sitting in some of those rescues or at some of those breeders, they might have a year-old dog that is going to be your match made in heaven, like Diesel's been my match made in heaven. So, you know, everybody should keep an open mind to that, and, you know, continue watching us, because we need you to continue watching and listening.
Sure.
And Sherri, speaking of fundraisers and stuff, you know, with Christmas just passing and everything like that, is there a place that I can donate? Because on behalf of the show, on behalf of us, I want to donate $100 to your charity or fundraiser, just the way of us supporting you guys. That's our little treat. So let us know how you do that, and yeah.
I'm going to be posting a local charity here in Toronto shortly. I do a lot of work with Danes in Distress, and there's a couple other charities that I work with. And the charity that Rex has chosen to help out this year was The Way Home, it's called. And you can actually go online and find it. It is in St. John's, Newfoundland, and it's called The Way Home Campaign. And Rex actually has Team Rex coffee. You can buy Team Rex coffee. It's $20 a bag for coffee, and $10 of it goes right to the charity. And it is to help build a new facility for the animals in St. John's. But we will be posting, we do keep posting our charitable, where we're working and what charities we are working with. You know, we've done some of the other charities we've worked with only deal with geriatric animals, because a lot of people, when they want a dog, they only want a puppy, or, you know, not realizing that a 5 or 6 year old dog still could have 10 years left to its life. You know, it doesn't mean that, oh, they're old, don't get it, you know? So, you know, there's a lot of stuff like that, the unsung heroes that, you know, myself and Rex try to bring to light and help those people out.
That's awesome. Well, we hope to do the same, and I hope everyone else takes part in your great initiative too. So thanks again for coming on, and we'll definitely be in touch when I do that donation.
Thank you. And hold on, I'll get him safe.
Yeah, say bye to your best friend.
Bye, Diesel.
Hi, Diesel.
Nice to see you.
Yeah, there you go. Talk to him. Say bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye, Diesel.
Bye. Say bye. Come here. Come here. Come here. There. Look. Oh. There you go. Here. Look. Right here. Yes.
Diesel.
There.
Hi, buddy.
Oh, that's so
We're
cute.
gonna keep watching you every week.
We love you.
Love you, Diesel.
Bye. See you guys.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Thank you again.